Good morning, everybody. Wave 3 News meteorologist Ryan Hoke here with a Hokey video blog update for this Sunday morning. The storms from this morning have exited the area as forecast, and now we're going to be dealing with some scattered, stronger to potentially severe storms for the afternoon. Let's talk about today's Hokey weather fact. First, talking about the speed at which hail falls. A 1-inch diameter hailstone that's about the size of a quarter. It's also about the size required for a severe thunderstorm warning. They fall to the ground at about 50 miles an hour. Now, that's booking it, but when you consider a 3-inch diameter piece of hail, that can fall at about 108 miles an hour, if you can believe that. So, here's the deal. When thunder is roaring, you go indoors, right? When hail is falling, you got to get indoors too, because it will cause bodily harm. There was a story out of Iowa several years back. A young gentleman was out running in the middle of a country road. There was no place to go, and a hailstorm crept up on him. He couldn't take shelter. Big, huge-sized pieces of hail. I think he covered his head, but he had these huge welts all over his body from the impact of the hail. Now, it wasn't like baseball-size hail, but it was pretty sizable, but he got very much injured. He had to go to the hospital. But if you get hail even bigger than that, you're obviously going to be injured to the point where you need medical attention. So make sure you stay indoors during hailstorms, all right? We could have some hail this afternoon. We'll talk about that in a second. Kind of a low fog look to our Kentucky One Health SkyTrack camera in Jeffersonville. Some fog, some haze over the area right now. Temperatures in the lower 60s, upper 60s here in the city already. We've popped up pretty quickly. This morning, we had an earthquake in western Kentucky, if you can believe that. Now, the dots are a little bit off here, but it was right on the edge of the Kentucky-Illinois border. It's a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. It's not the Richter scale. It's the moment magnitude scale, for those who are wondering how we measure earthquakes. Depth was about 8 miles, and it happened about 2:12 a.m. our time, 1:12 a.m. their time out there central. No damage reported yet, but some folks did feel it. They felt shaking around there near the confluence of the Illinois, Missouri, and Kentucky borders out that way. We go from earthquakes to thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms rolled in here this morning. Those are now off to our east as just a few light downpours and showers, and really just about all of them are out of our area now. I want to take a look at the visible satellite view. I want to point out a couple of things. For one, I'm going to draw a line right here. And if you can see very closely, I'm going to zoom in on this radar map here with the satellite. You can see a very distinct boundary that got set up from this morning. You'll see it move through this box right there. See that line? It's just a very faint green line that moves through. Boop, just like that. That is a boundary left over from this morning's storm activity. It's moving south. The boundary at this time, if I had to guess, is probably located somewhere like right here, all right? So the boundaries from this morning's showers and thunderstorms are being left behind. There's probably one about here too because of some of these showers and thunderstorms that got started up down that way from an earlier boundary. So all of these showers and thunderstorms put out these cold air outflows, and we call them outflow boundaries. They're like miniature cold fronts. Now, when they are present still in the atmosphere during the afternoon, because, I mean, they get left out for several hours after the thunderstorms are done, they provide a focus for storms to form on during afternoon activity. That's what we've got down here. This segment of wave country right here, I think, is at greatest risk of seeing scattered storms this afternoon based on some of the outflow boundaries and the motion of the storms this morning. I've seen this time and again while storm chasing. Overnight activity puts out north and south boundaries. They converge, and that's where the thunderstorms are going to form. In fact, I would say even that line right there is probably going to be the sweet spot, if I had to guess, all right? So somewhere down there today is where our scattered storms are really going to fire up. They're going to look something like this on radar. Excuse my poor drawing here, but you get it. They're little dots. They're going to be multi-cell clusters with maybe some embedded supercell structures at times. I've been looking at the photographs from various models. It's basically a plot of the wind shear. And they're what's called straight line photographs, which usually means a multi-cell thunderstorm setup. You know, lots of little dots going up everywhere on the radar, merging together and things like that. You can still get some pretty nasty weather from those, especially when they merge and they interact with boundaries and one another. But you don't have a pre-existing supercell threat. One is created as you go throughout the event from the multi-cells actually merging together. That map there, you didn't need to see. That was an old map, but you get the idea. We're in the warm sector right now of a system that's out to our west. In fact, I will show you that here, drawing it by hand. We've got an area of low pressure pretty much, you can kind of see it right there, all right? That's the upper low component of it. The lower level low pressure, the surface one's about right there. This is called a stacked low, or it's not called a stacked low pressure. This is actually a normal one where you can see it's got kind of a diagonal to it. A stacked low pressure would be if these two areas of low pressure, both the surface and the one aloft, were right on top of each other. But in this case, it's not a stacked low pressure. So this surface low right here is connected to two fronts. The first of the fronts is well to our north right now. It is a warm front, and that warm front's positioned somewhere in this sector right there. So the cold front out to our west, our southwest really, is positioned right about there. All right, so this cold front and this area of low pressure right out here to our west is going to be the focus for storm development. That'll be about right here by about late afternoon, early evening, and by the overnight, probably about right there. All right, so that's what we're looking at in terms of the timing on that today. Here's the high-resolution rapid refresh model. This is really the king Corvette of all the short-range models. It's done a very good job on resolving convection thunderstorms in the Great Plains and around here over the last several years. This has been under development. It's currently an operational model, meaning everybody can use it, and we could use it for operations like I'm getting ready to show you right now. That's why it's in our graphic system. So we're pretty clear up until noon, and we get these scattered thunderstorms developing here, and look at the placement. This is right where I was thinking these might form, you know, plus or minus 20 miles in either direction. Kind of this corridor right here, all right? Those three lines represent kind of the boundaries of where I think some of these storms may form today. All right, so these are multi-cell clusters. That's exactly what we saw on the photographs earlier. That's what's forming here on the high-res rapid refresh. These really grow upscale and get some girth to them, all right, because you'll see those purple cores there. We don't see that too often. Those may be hail cores that we see this afternoon. Could see some large hail, golf ball size, maybe egg size. We'll see. Probably more of the golf balls, but you know, if we get some multi-cell interactions and this thing really pulses up, you can get some larger hail. Tries to grow into a complex. I think they'll stay a little more discrete or basically separated from what you're seeing here. It's not going to be like a huge line of storms develops out of this. It's just going to be these clusters of single-cell, multi-cell thunderstorms kind of running around. This is 4:30, by the way, when you're seeing right here. And then basically after sunset, this is gone. We lose the solar heating of the day, and everything's done. This is one of those setups that's highly, highly dependent on solar heating and the placement of the front. Both of those taking place this afternoon right over our area. So that was the high-res rapid refresh. Here is the RPM model. This is our in-house model that we get from Weather Services International, an IBM company. You'll see that as we go through time here, it is looking very similar to the high-res rapid refresh. It's clear toward noon, and then we get some of these scattered thunderstorms toward the afternoon. This isn't quite as high resolution as the high-res rapid refresh, so you're not going to get as much fine detail as what you saw before, but you get the idea. These scattered thunderstorms converging probably along a boundary, again, probably along or south of the Ohio River, somewhere in that range. Again, the sweet spot probably right in this area right here, you know, somewhere from like E-Town, Bardstown, just north of Lebanon, between Shelbyville and Lebanon, I think is where the sweet spot for this boundary is going to be for these storms to form upon. Again, from those previous outflow boundaries, like mini cold fronts from this morning's thunderstorm activity, by about 7:30 this evening, most of it's gone, just like the high-res rapid refresh. So we have pretty good agreement here. The timing, the placement, the storm mode, that's 3 for 3. That's batting 1,000 here. And the only thing we really don't know is just how incredibly severe things will be, and I don't think it's going to be overly bad. Neither does the Storm Prediction Center. They just released their latest severe storm threat map for the day, the convective outlook. It's a marginal risk. They have moved it north a little bit. I think that's a good call because I just don't see a whole lot going on down here today. You saw both of those maps of the models I just showed you, and it's really going to be this corridor right here, I think, the southern edge of this, that's going to really see the brunt of this today. Marginal risk, again, means a few strong storms, 1 or 2 severe storms. So not all these multi-cell clusters and single storm clusters are going to be terribly severe, all right? And they're not going to be so widespread that everybody sees rain today. It's only a 40% chance of rain over all 29 of our counties, so we will definitely watch that for you guys, especially just to the south of Louisville and really in the city proper itself as well. But I do think there could be at least a couple severe thunderstorm warnings at times today, depending on if we can get the instability realized. Yesterday we were robbed of instability because of the morning activity staying into the afternoon, clouds, rain, no sunshine. Today it's a little different of a scenario. We still got some of that fog out there, but we've got clear breaks in the clouds already, as you saw in the satellite view, so that's definitely going to aid in that formation of those storms. Wind and hail are the main threats. Tornadoes, I can't rule them out. Even though this is a straight line photograph thing where we've got multi-cell clusters, they can still interact with one another to create the supercell structures within them, and that could put down a brief tornado. I don't think it's a big deal. It's just a very small chance. Flooding also a secondary chance as well. 7-day breakdown. I want to show this to you real quick. We've got additional showers moving through on Monday. I've got about 30 seconds here. We'll see if we can make it through. These additional showers, this is the NAM model, by the way, moving through mainly south of our area Monday afternoon and evening. Not a big deal. Another shot of these on Wednesday. Pegasus Parade on Thursday. Looks like a really good forecast at this point. You'll see only a 20% shower chance. Temperatures cool in the 60s. Oaks and Derby look great. Derby, 73 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Can't beat it. We'll be back tonight with updates on Wave 3 News starting at 6.